On this channel, I do things that Blizzard doesn't. I remake old mounts that deserve it, I update the Stormwind skybox, and acknowledge the existence of Night Elves. We all remember the last time Blizzard did the latter. They upgraded their capital city, the corners of Stormwind, killed off a respectable portion of their population, and made these nifty new Nightsaber models, which was actually pretty cool. But then they proceeded to not update the Night Elf base mounts, which made the whole thing as pointless as a urinal next to a sink. So, I decided to do something about it. I started my journey by grabbing the model from WoW Model Viewer, where I spent a non-trivial amount of time fruitlessly searching for the updated versions, only to find out that Blizzard had not only revamped the art, but also their spelling of the word saber. Also, there's some nifty Nightsaber skins that apparently we weren't good enough for. Thanks, Bob.
Tencent, who has resources that are extraordinary.
First thing I did once I got this beastie in the blender was fix it. By now you were undoubtedly aware and possibly displeased that our long-awaited dragon race turned out to be this feminine salamander man. Well, the Nightsabers got a similar treatment, being notably skinnier than the original. I eradicated this heresy and put the soy saber on the sauce. Reject modernity. With the base model ready, the next step was to create the armor of the epic version. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and call Blizzard lazy. I have found you guys more than willing to do that yourselves. But I'm just a bit bummed out that Blizzard doesn't just take the time to do this. For one, I'd love to have an updated version of this mount. It's sick. But secondly, it shows that they don't take their early games seriously, which shows new players that Blizzard doesn't take them seriously, and have no problem sitting them through the entire early game experience on a 2004 3DS set. I can't blame you though, Blizzard. You gotta boost those Dark Shore engagement metrics, since they're such an accurate and representative way of measuring how much great fun we're all having, unlike sub numbers, which go up and down randomly. In my mind, these racial mounts are a part of core Azeroth, and core Azeroth is, and always will be, core Warcraft. However, it sits there forgotten. I plan on making an entire video about this later, but yeah, it sucks. At least they did it for the slow versions of the Kodo. I don't know which one of these two caused the other, but I have no doubt that this is in some way causally connected to the dying out of the Alliance faction. Anyway, modeling. I like it when my mounts look actually rideable, so I decided to add some reins and stirrups. Little did I know that this would come back to slap me in the face like a giant fleshy sausage. Because rigging time, baby. I started off just rigging the armor. This was pretty straightforward. The headpiece went on the head bone, the neck armor on the neck, yada yada. But where do reins go? Reins can go fuck themselves. Because of the extreme motion of the leg and the shoulder joint, which the reins have to inevitably pass over, the reins would either clip right through the legs when they stick forward, given the reins aren't rigged to the leg, or if they were rigged to the leg, follow the leg all the way back, which looked dumb on the opposite end of the running animation. And they had to be rigged to simultaneously look good on all animations at once. I won't get into this too much, because it will be boring and confusing for most people, but this was quite the challenge. I spent a bunch of time on it, but to my surprise, I ended up not having to scrap my precious reins. I'm not sure why I take this shit so seriously anyway, considering Blizzard's version's paw clips through its wrist when it runs, and the chest looks like it's doing that thing where you pull your arm back out of your sleeve, hold the sleeve with your other hand and do the pounding thing under your shirt. My mesh all ready, it was time to give these boys a lick of paint. I took the textures into Photoshop where I changed the colors of different components to match the originals. I also took the fancy new saddle that Blizzard gave the Nightsabers and changed it into something that resembles what it used to be, along with the drapes underneath. When Bobby Kotick personally made these remakes back in BFA, he changed the ears to have white little floofy tips, which is a disgusting disrespect to the source material. We cannot have this. After undoing all of Blizzard's attempts to move this 20-year-old game forwards, I painted in the stripes, which I made to match the colors of the striped Nightsaber. Silver in the dark bits, black in the light bits. I also drew the spots of the spotted Frostsaber, because he has a bunch of spots. All in all, I have to give Blizzard some credit here. These remakes are actually surprisingly accurate. You see that little shoulder thing? Yeah. The 2004ness masks it somewhat, but that was there all along. Same design. Yeah, I'm under no illusion that these are going to be exceptionally interesting to you. I'm sorry for your time. Moving on to the real deal, the epic ones. I started, as always, by blocking out the materials of the mount. I painted in some simple values, after which I went ahead and laid out the rough details of the armor. Having done this, I painted in some lights, following the contours of the outlines that I just painted in. Oh yeah, some of you misled yourselves into thinking that I would be a valuable source of education, and asked me to share some things about my process. My process is anxiously throwing things at the model on gut feeling, hoping I somehow manage to make it work, under the pressure of suddenly having 20,000 subscribers expecting something on par with the last remake, where I also did not know how I really did it. I wish that was as much of a joke as I am. A bit into the texturing, I decided to go for a design change. I originally had the neck armor limited to metal, however, the original has very visible elements of the mount's secondary color on the back. I'm not sure if this was with much intention behind it, seeing as the whole mount uses only this bit of texture. Yeah, once more props to the old masters. But either way, that's how they look, and I want to preserve the original distribution of colors. Something that might surprise you is how much lore there really is behind the Nightsabers. These aren't just a couple mounts they threw together. They're a core part of Night Elf culture, which is another reason that it's sad to see Blizzard treat them as a Warfront gimmick. When a saber dies, it's tradition for the rider to keep one of the fangs as a memento. In reverse, if the rider dies, sabers are described to have a mourning process of their own. They originate from the forests of Kalimdor. Big surprise, and were considered to be among the continent's most deadly forces, right behind the Thousand Needles elevator. Many of the bitch ones can still be found in the wild, but the finest specimens have been tamed by the Night Elves to serve as their companions. There are different breeds of sabers. The Frost Sabers are known to live the longest. The Ronde Scat, Ashala, lived to be over 10,000 years old, yet my dog's hips started giving out at 3. The Mist Saber scholars are rumored to have been a result of highborn experiments, and the Dawn Sabers, when spotted in the wild, are believed to be an ill omen. Moon Sabers, which were only added as a rideable mount in the TOTC patch, are revered, as their shiny fur is considered to symbolize a loon. Yeah, nutty stuff. Anyway, this model actually had some unique challenge to it in comparison to my previous videos. Half of it is modified original Blizzard art, which means that I would get away with far less art style wise, as any failure to meet Blizzard's aesthetic would be extra visible in contrast with the, actual Blizzard art. There was definitely some struggle involved, and this model really emphasized to me once more how much more efficient I could be if I had more experience with hand painting, but I ended up with a result that I'm pleased with. Ultimately, you'll be the judge though. Message time. I feel stupid doing this after every video, but I'd feel even stupider having Asmongold and Bellular blow up my channel, go from 450 to 20k subs, and not saying anything. I'm gonna do a proper channel update, but before then, I just want to say thank you to everybody who subscribed to me in the past month. The support, the kind comments, the kind words, the likes, the comments for the algorithm gods, the suggestions, the feedback, everything. And of course, thank you to the boys themselves, Bellular and Asmongold. I would have not been where I am right now if it wasn't for you guys, and I owe you a great debt. As for the channel, I'd like nothing more right now than to spend 10 hours a day working on new content, but I'm currently balancing this with graduating uni, which might occasionally make things move a bit slower than I would ideally like them to. It is what it is, unfortunately, but know that YouTube is my top priority and it's going to stay that way. And now, my friends, I want you to get your eyeballs ready. I have 2 weeks of uni to catch up on for this video. It is my honor to present to you the new and updated Nightsabers. Perfect moment to plug my new Discord server. I made a Discord server. Links in the description. Figured it'd be cool to build a bit more of a community and offer people a more reliable way of reaching out to me if they want to reach out to me. YouTube's not the best for that, so I set up a Discord server. In there's a channel, it's called Video Feedback, and right now my main focus is on just getting better at YouTube. Growth, that's all happening, and that's great, but there's no point if I suck at YouTube. So, yeah, if you have any criticism, any pointers, anything to help me improve at this, and that you just think that I could do better, please don't hold back. I would really appreciate it if you just grilled the shit out of me and just let me know, okay? Don't hold back. Alright, peace.